What's up, guys? Cindy Infinity here. How are you all doing today? I hope everybody is well. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know. Hey, Chuck, how are you? Thank you so much. Karen, hey, hon, how are you? Good to see you. What is going on? How is everybody doing on this fine Wednesday? I'm going to wait for a couple people to get in here. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I just made myself a cup of coffee. I'm going to do it backwards today. I'm going to have coffee after breakfast. I didn't want it first thing this morning. So just made myself a nice cup of coffee. Hey, Twerk, how are you? How you doing? How is everything? I'm just getting myself ready here. I'm going to take the kids after school to go get pumpkins today. And I got to get a couple groceries at the store. I feel like I'm always at the grocery store. I think when you have kids, like it's just a constant, like you're always stopping to get something or you're doing a big grocery shop. I don't know. all I ever do is spend time at the grocery store. Grocery store, driving the kids around, going to work. That's where I go. I don't really go anywhere. Hey, Bama. What's up, hon? How are you? How are you and Gracie doing? What is going on? So good to see you guys. Everybody can hear me okay? You just put an order in for pickup at the grocery store? I know. And like I'm so conscientious of like, because I mean I'm feeding a family of 6, plus if they have friends come over, we have other family that comes to have dinner with us. uh it's like I'm always at the store, always. And then I'm always trying to figure, I mean, I love to cook. I'm gonna do a cooking live maybe either this weekend or early next week with you guys. But I'm always looking for, I always cook unique and different things, and I have a lot of staple recipes that I do. And I love looking up new recipes online. I made what did I make about a week ago? I made pot roast, and I let it literally like just cook on low in the oven for like, I think it was like 8 hours that day. It was like falling apart. It was so delicious. Oh my god, it was amazing. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to make for dinner tonight. Ooh, let me see what you're. I love to know what people are making. Okay, making baked mac and cheese, turkey, sweet potato stuffing, and green beans. Ooh, like a little Thanksgiving. That's nice. That's great. I was gonna make mac and cheese. Actually, I was gonna do like a homemade cheeseburger macaroni mac and cheese for the kids tonight. Um, like a hamburger helper, but like a homemade one, so it's like better and healthier. I was thinking about doing that as something different because I haven't made that in a while. That sounds delicious. Really, really good. So is everybody doing well? I hope everybody's good. Thank you all for coming to my live last week when I when I was in my bathroom doing my hair, my highlights. um, and thank you for listening to my video I uploaded the other day. If you guys have not checked that out, that is in the one below this live. Um, sometimes I just have to make a quick video to get some things out and get some things off my mind. You know how it goes. Yeah, homemade hamburger helpers are so good. Or homemade like tuna, like I do with tuna pasta as well. I like that too. My kids are pretty good. They pretty much, two of them really will eat anything. Two of them are a little bit more finicky. So depending on who's here, I have to cook accordingly. But the other ones have gotten a lot better over the years. They've gotten less picky. Definitely gotten less picky. Yeah, the kids love them. Oh my God. Like twerk, that's all I ever cooked in college. Like that was like my home. If I could go to my friend's apartment and make actual hamburger helper, like that was like a home cooked meal to me when I was back in college. But that was a long time ago. I've come a long way since then. But even then, that was good. That was way better than like, cafeteria food at that time. Now cafeteria food has become amazing. It's unbelievable. It's like actually gotten pretty good. They do a lot of different stuff. So let's see what has been going on here. Well, so I worked yesterday. Today I've got the kids. I've got to do all my errands today. Tomorrow I'll be back at work. And yeah, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought for a second there. I was reading the chat. I'm just reading. Oh, I'm sorry, Bama. That's not good. It's not feeling too good. That's tough. There's stuff going around too. I mean, I know you guys don't see a lot of people, but there's been stuff going around. The kids have all kind of had like allergy-ish cold things going on as well. Yeah, I hope she feels better as well. Ice pops. Ice pops always inevitably helped my kids when they didn't feel well. And they make ones that have medicine now too, I think. So those are good, if you have a fever or something like that. So I've been up, God, I was up at 4:30 this morning. Then I was up again at 5:30. Then I woke up again at 6:30. My sister had to go in for surgery today. And I haven't really said anything to many people because sometimes I kind of keep that stuff private. And the people that I did say something to, I so appreciate their prayers. I got a message a little while ago from my brother-in-law that she's, in recovery. She's doing well. But that was something that had kind of been weighing on my mind a little bit. It kind of was a little distracting. So I really wanted to make sure, it's my little sister. So, my everything goes into wanting to make sure like she's okay, if anything's going on with her. Same thing with my parents, you know what I mean? So, but we got the good word that things are looking okay so far. So that's a blessing. So thank you to everybody who did know and sent prayers and well wishes. I tremendously appreciate it. It helps. It really does. It helps tremendously. I know it does. I'm a firm believer, and I'm also here living on this earth because of the power of prayer, and I can speak to that, and that's what I truly believe, at the end of the day. Thank you. Yes, twerk. Yeah. She's doing good so far. So that's good, and actually it's crazy. Like you go in for, she got to be there like 6:30 in the morning. Like, the pre-op is like 2 hours long. Finally take her in at like 8:30. And the surgery actually didn't take too long. But it could have, depending on what had happened when they went in there to do what they had to do. And I'm not really going to speak too much about what it is right now. But there could have been a lot more stuff that they would have had to have done. They really weren't sure, so it was good. I think it was kind of the best of what the situation was for her. So, which is really good. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Just catching up with everybody here. Yeah. So, she, but it was good because, she was able to put in for, FMLA, for family medical leave. And so was her husband. So she was able to put in for, 6 weeks off from work, which is great. And then her husband was able to put in under the FMLA, for 2 weeks off, at least to be there with her, and, we're not that far. I mean, my mother's not far. I'm not far. Other relatives are not that far. But it's good, just sometimes you just want to be in the comfort of your own home with like your husband, and then that's it, so that's good. That's really good. But, it's like, that's what I've been, of course, I'm listening to certain things. And of course I'm up in the middle of the night because I'm worried about her and not knowing how things are going to go. So of course I'm like, trying to make myself fall back to sleep. And of course, going on YouTube doesn't exactly always make you want to go back to sleep when you start reading things. And, I have to say, like, I feel sorry for people for what they're going through because life is just not fair. And it's not fair for a moment in time or for a longer period of time for a lot of other people or for a lifetime for a lot of people. you know, and people get thrown things their direction medically all the time. And it sucks. It really does. Um, and I, having gone through something very near tragic in my own life to my own self, um, I learned how to empower myself to also speak to doctors, to stand up for myself, to know how to ask the right questions. And if something doesn't feel right or seem right, I'm not just going to go based on one or two opinions if it's not concurring with what's necessarily maybe how I'm feeling. And we've also learned, for those that I mean, I think most of you guys know, my father had suffered a stroke last year. And he has not been able to come home. He's still paralyzed on one side. It looks like that's probably how it's going to be for quite a while, if not the rest of his life. And so he's went from the hospital to a great healthcare facility where they're doing, rehab, but he has to stay there because otherwise it would be a tremendous life change for my mother, having to gut the house, make it handicapped accessible, have two aides there all the time because he needs two people to help lift him. So right now where he's at, it's a safer environment. He's getting the healthcare and the resources that he needs. It's close by to where my mother lives. So she goes and spends the day with him every day. She's there a lot. Hey, Susie Q, how are you? Good to see you. So it's, so we've had a lot of, all the course of our life, and my mother, it's October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My mother is a survivor of breast cancer. There's not a lot of family history, so when this happened to her years ago, it was quite a surprise. It was just something that we had to, as a family, deal with, and you kind of just try to hit it head on. And, I've learned how to navigate those muddy waters sometimes. And it's not always easy emotionally, and it drains you. It absolutely drains you. I mean, Bama, I'm sure anybody who's gone through medical stuff with themselves or their own family, it's draining. And it was interesting because even with my father, and even with myself, I had to learn how to try to reach out for resources. They're not just going to come knocking on your doorstep, on your door, on your front door. They're not going to just come and be put into the mailbox all wrapped in a nice little package with a bow on it and saying, here's all your resources because now you're sick and, you can't work or you can't, provide for yourself like you used to. So here, we're just going to hand you all this stuff. No, it doesn't work that way. And I have also found that the states like to try to hide resources that are available. They don't make them very well known. They don't make them even accessible sometimes on the state websites, right? My mother went through this recently with my father's care. Under his health insurance that he has paid for with his retirement, he was an engineer his whole life. He retired from a very good job, had a very good pension, has very good insurance coverage. But, even with that, and also he had another insurance from when my mother was working and whatnot, so they're duly covered. The insurance company was supposed to, the rule is that they will pay for your first 100 days of care at a facility. But there's so many rules and stipulations behind that. And every so many days in that first 100-day period, she's getting notifications saying that they don't want to cover the care anymore, and that they're going to not take care of it, and they're going to and they want him discharged. My mother's going, where's this man going to go? He can't walk. He's paralyzed, And so she started, and luckily the facility that he's at, there's such great people. It's a smaller place. It's independently owned and run. Hey, Janelle. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing this out. I appreciate it. So it was, and we found out it's artificial intelligence that's doing all of this, looking at the reports that are being sent to the insurance company every so many days to look at his progress. It's not even a person, so they're looking for key words or key points or things of that nature. And so anyways, long story short, I said to my mom, listen, don't pay it, but you can fight it, so she was fighting it, and she appealed things, and certain appeals got, accepted, and other ones got denied. And so basically what it came down to was that she was going to have to go before a judge, who would take a look at the case. And there's only about 10 judges in the United States that do this. So where we are, the judge, it wasn't going to court. It was over the phone, basically. And what she found out from the care facility was that there are state advocates that are lawyers, real lawyers, that will represent her, like where she wouldn't have to hire somebody. But they do this as basically like a tool and a mechanism, regardless of what kind of insurance you're on. Doesn't matter whether you're on state insurance or you're on your own private healthcare insurance. It's for anybody, to help them navigate this so they can get the insurance companies to pay for this. But it was a little bit of a long road. And like she said, I'm not going to sweat it, because I said to her, if you pay it and then you win the case, to get it back from the insurance company money-wise, it's going to be a lot harder. I said, as long as, everything else is getting taken care of and they're not like bombarding you or sending you to collections, like because you're in this time of trying to fight it, that's good. And so it took a while, but she would have not known about the resources available through the state had it not been for a person at the care facility. Or even myself, I was doing a lot of research online, searching, the government website, searching other resources that are available, community service type agencies that have access to the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge to help point you in the right direction. There can be certain benefits that are afforded to somebody if they are a veteran. My father is a veteran. So we were looking into certain benefits that he might be able to get, even if it's something small on that level, But my point is that you have to be able to do the legwork or have somebody help you navigate, and you don't have to pay for a lawyer. There are state agencies in every single state. There are resources right at the hospital wherever you're receiving care. Like if you are at the cancer hospital, there are patient advocates. Everybody's assigned a patient advocate whenever they're going through something medically. There are social workers there. That is their job, to point you in the right direction. They might not know everything, but they might know one or two people that will then you'll get pointed to and you go talk to, and then they might point you in another direction. But you have to do the work. Yes, Bama, you have to be your own advocate. And you know what? It can become a little exhausting because it is trying times. It's hard when you're trying to navigate. That's why it's always nice if you have somebody that maybe can help you be another set of eyes and ears, even when you're going to an appointment, because you might miss something. I mean, because it happens naturally when we're at appointments, we get distracted or our mind's on one thing and we're not listening to everything that's being said. But to sit up on YouTube and just constantly beg for money and to not actually go out and try to do that advocacy work for yourself or allow somebody else to help you with it, it's a bunch of bullshit as far as I'm concerned. I think that having people to help you on YouTube, I think that having GoFundMes in times of need are absolutely positively necessary. And I don't discourage people from doing that. But what I don't like to see is every couple minutes last night, post upon post upon post, in SG's community page, talking about demonic people and how we worship Satan and all this other stuff and how we're all going to go to hell and this and that. And it's like, if you took a little bit of that time and didn't start to bash everybody on YouTube because you're going crazy and because you think you saw something or something, whatever bothered you, take that time. If you're up in the middle of the night, rather than ranting and raving and bitching and moaning and this and that and asking for money and whatever, why don't you empower yourself to fucking go on your internet, because you have it, and start looking around for resources, write things down on a piece of paper. If you can't bookmark them, in your browser, if you want to do it old school way, like I do that. Hi, Willie. How are you? Welcome. Are you new to my channel? Welcome. We're just talking about stuff here. Resources and being your own advocate. So welcome in. Hi, Court. Welcome. How are you? Yeah, Bama, you know what? It is not healthy behavior. It's not. I mean, and just going after people. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Like, I will help somebody. Like I have always said, like Bama, like you and I have talked offline about certain things. Like I will be the biggest advocate to help somebody and point them in the right direction, because I've learned the hard way. I learned the hard way how to become my own advocate and how to do research. But every single day, there are different resources that become available. Like if she lives in Massachusetts, there are some of the best, finest cancer hospitals and also resources available. All I did was type into Google, financial help for cancer patients, or like whatever, like you could just ask Google the question and you could type in what state you're in. And And you're given a plethora of information. I mean, you have access to Mass General, Dana-Farber, some of the absolute best hospitals around. Oh, no worries, Janelle. It's okay. No worries. Thank you, Corey. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It drives me batty because I'm like, you fucking sit on YouTube and you post after post after negative post after negative post after negative post. And I'm sitting here going, I'm just worried about my sister going to have surgery today. And I'm reading these things and I'm going, man, you just don't want to get out of your own fucking way. Scrub it up, Janelle. I love it. Can you come wash my truck? Because it's so big and I can't even reach the top of it. I got to get on a ladder or something. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I mean, I will, after I do this live, like I can post up some resources in my description of this chat of pointing her in the right direction. You know? Yeah, Court, you're in Mass, right? Yeah. I mean, Connecticut's not far behind. You know, we have Yale. You know, that's where and listen, my mother went through it. She's a breast cancer survivor. I have two very close people in my life right now that are in their 40s that are going through breast cancer. Very close to me. You know, I don't really talk a lot about it because I'm just trying to privately pray and do all of that. But I mean, one of them's already had a double mastectomy, reconstruction, now is going for like her treatments. And she's a nurse. She's a friggin' nurse, for Christ's sake. So, I mean, she had access to these doctors, and she was telling them even, nope, this is what I want to have happen. I got to nip it in the bud because it was a very, very aggressive form. And so within 1 month of her being diagnosed, she went from stage 1 to stage 2. It was that scary. And she's a friggin' nurse at the hospital there. And she said, you know what? I'm getting this taken care of ASAP. You know, I think the one thing that we need to also promote is to schedule our mammograms once you turn 40. You know, and just keeping up, you know, you have the MyChart app, like, you know, that all the doctors are in tune with now for the most part. Hey, Prue, thank you for coming in. Oh, you got the boiler guy there. Lovely. We'll get it fixed now before it gets cold out, because you don't need to be dealing with that when it gets colder out. Oh, I know. She was talking about everybody's being a devil worshiper. You know what? Here's the thing. I actually, like, there's a part of me that still feels bad because sometimes I think, well, maybe somebody's mentally ill and they need help being guided in the right direction. You know what I mean? But Jesus Christ, lady, like, get off your fucking soapbox and fucking get on the internet and start digging up the resources that you need. And if you don't know what they are, or you can't, or you don't have it within you, go to the hospital, talk to the patient advocate or the psychologist, or I can't even talk. Your patient advocate. You're assigned a patient advocate. You know, go down to your local Social Security office. Call, what is it, 211? That's the info line. You can call them. You have the town that you live in. You have a community center. There's local churches that do food pantries where you don't even have to really give a lot of your information. You don't have to give any of your financial information if you need help with your groceries during that week, you know, or any week or any time period. And a lot of times they will even bring them to you if you can't get there, you know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to try to look in the chat here. Hey, Just Me, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you. Prue. Oh, man. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Prue, of course. Everybody, yes. Drop your channel link. Absolutely. You can drop everybody's link in here. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm telling you guys. I mean, I've had discussions with people like that I talk to on and off YouTube about different things. You know what I mean? And I'll help somebody and guide them in the right direction in any way I can. Can I financially help support people? No, I could barely financially support myself. I have 4 children. I have my own business. I have my home. I have my vehicle. I have a lot of things on my plate. I have my sister who just had her surgery. I have my mother. I have my father who's in rehab because of the stroke. I have all these things on my plate. But you know what? It's okay at the end of the day because everybody's going to be okay. But you have to empower yourself at some point. I mean, my God, it's disgusting. You know what? Talking about us being demonic and Satan worshipers, screw yourself. Okay? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm just reading what just me just said here. Oh, you're not feeling well, just me? I'm sorry. Yeah, you have to fight. You have to fight for what you think is right. Hey, Dawn, how are you? No, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, Prudently is doing Bible study tonight. Not Satan study. We're doing Bible study tonight, right? 7 p.m. All right. Everybody see Prudently's thing here? Okay. I appreciate you doing that, Prudently. You know, so I like to listen to it. A lot of times I'll listen to it while I'm cooking dinner or helping the kids with homework or things like that. It's therapeutic for me. I grew up going to church my whole life, and it's something that has always been ingrained in me, you know, from day one. And, you know, I find it disgusting that somebody wants to criticize how you do Bible study, or you're not really, you know, and they're threatening to, you know, dox everybody if they're on their dying bed. Like, that's what she's worried about. I mean, your life is so sad if that's what your life is, if that's what you think that is going to happen. If you're on your deathbed, that you're going to start doxing everybody and making sure that everybody suffers and their children suffer and this and that. Like, my goodness. I mean, you know, maybe you need to go seek psychiatric help too. And I'm not being funny about it. Like, I'm really not trying to be funny about it. Like, my God, you know? Yes, let's all go to Satan study. We're going to go to Satan study tonight. Oh, yes, Prue. It helps. And you know what? I don't follow along like in the book or whatever, because sometimes it's just good for me to listen. You know what I mean? I wish I could dedicate that much time to doing more things for myself. I need to like just sit down as I'm speaking about being your own advocate. I need to make some doctor's appointments now. The kids are back in school. And I got to take care of myself now. So this is when I start making my appointments to go for like, well, I have my, you know, I have a lot of appointments set up, but I have to set up a bunch of other ones too. I know she really is, you know. Yes, Court, definitely go join Prue. Absolutely. Prue's awesome. Prue, we've known each other for a long time, and Prue is solid, you know, no matter what's said about her, no matter who says it, it's all lies. Yes, I agree with that. 100%, Bama. I agree 100%. Did I just skip over somebody? I did. Victor, I thought I saw you. It went right by you. My chat was going a little fast. Oh my goodness. How are you? It's good to see you. Oh, Louis wants to say hi to everybody. You can hear him. Here he is. Okay, there's no one here. He just had to say hello. Okay, you're all set. You're good. I know. The dogs just woke up. They've been lazy all day today, laying in bed. So, I mean, you know, if you guys have any other suggestions for people, you know, and I'm not just talking about one person in particular. I'm just saying if there's ever a resource that needs to be found, or to, or help with something. Louis, there's nothing out there. I think he's barking at leaves blowing around right now. But yeah, I mean, if you guys can think of stuff, this is why I do this. Like we've talked about this before, like having this be like a little bit of like, I'm not a medical expert and I'm not a social worker, but I also know how to navigate websites and learn how to find where resources are. I mean, listen, we during the pandemic, I mean, there were so many people that were out of work that couldn't get unemployment right away. They had to go down to their local, Social Security or offices in their state. They had to get assistance, whether it was food assistance, insurance, medical insurance, depending on what kind of a job you had, and then they had to try to apply for unemployment if they could get it. Myself being a business owner, I mean, everything was just a nightmare, and I couldn't work. I was not allowed to have my shop open. I couldn't do anything, and it's a very humbling experience when you have to look for resources out there when you've never actually maybe had to accept help in resources. But these are all trying times for people, whether it was the pandemic or whether it is because you lost your job, whether it is because you are sick or going through something, but hopefully it's something that doesn't last forever. But, like she famously says, well, I worked from 15 to 50 years old or whatever. And, I paid in. I mean, I'm not poo-pooing you for getting assistance from the government, like for being on disability. And the disability is no easy feat to get. I mean, they make it very difficult. They make it very difficult. And you know what? Yes, they make it. You have to fight for everything when you face. Sorry, I was trying to click on it and read at the same time. You have to fight for everything when you face an illness. Yes, you do. And it becomes harder and harder, Bama, because I think more and more people have gotten sick for various reasons, and maybe they haven't had access to the resources that they once did because now these insurance companies require, so much time to go in between before you can get scans done or testings done. I even know with my father, I think a lot of his illness and the way that he got was because there was just so much lag time in between when the insurance companies would allow him to get tested for certain things. Oh my gosh. Just me says, you can probably Google how to poop and get 1,000 answers. So no reason to not at least try. You can ask Google anything. Like I just type in my actual question to Google and I just type it in there, like very phonetically, like, here's my question. Like, and it could be anything from like, how do I fix my kitchen faucet? And I watch a YouTube video to like, resource, like the resources available or, coupons for sneakers. Cause when the kids go back to school, they need new sneakers and they're not cheap. And so any resource that's out there, like I might like try to find, and it's time consuming. I know it's time consuming and it can be irritating, but you got to be tenacious about it. And if you're going to be that tenacious to be on all hours of the night, spewing hatred and vitriol on your fucking community page, you could take an hour and two to empower yourself to go and look for resources or or send emails out or put yourself on a waiting list to go have an appointment with somebody to talk to somebody that can help you navigate these muddy waters. That's all I'm saying. Because that's the disgusting part. That is the real disgusting part. And if you want to call me demonic and I worship Satan because I tell you that you need to do that for yourself because you'd be a better person for it, because it's only going to help you at the end of the day, then you know what? You don't get it. You just don't get it. I'm sorry, Like Bama, she says, like, she doesn't talk about people and their medical conditions. She spoke about Tish tremendously, her mother, and that situation. She has spoken about me and not believing that I went through the open heart surgeries that I did. That's okay. I mean, whatever. You can believe what you want. I went through what I went through. I mean, there's a video on my community page of my heart surgeon and I talking about everything that happened. That's not fucking fabricated. Okay. You talk about Bama and Gracie and you want to see proof and you're going to report their faces and post their pictures to different cancer websites saying how they're cancer frauds. Okay. But you don't talk about anybody. What have you ever done to somebody? You've done a lot of things to a lot of people. You've said a lot of nasty things. And the only thing I've ever said is, listen, if you need help Ask for help, not help like give me money, you know? Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, it's just it irks me to no end to see the constant puke that she throws up on her community page like last night. It was, don't tell me that that's somebody that's in their right mind, please. Yeah, Bama, she has talked about everyone, and most of which is not very good, you know? The second you want to call her on something, you know, she just doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. People are nice people out there. When I first met her, I exchanged phone numbers with Prudently. We were both up on our panel. I wanted to get information about her. So I was going to help her with, I do hair extensions, and a lot of my give back to the community for what my mother went through and giving back to cancer patients was sometimes I offer hair extensions, and they're not cheap and they're expensive, but I was going to offer to do that at one time. But she got so friggin' butthurt thinking that we were exchanging numbers to try to plot behind her back. I'm like, dude, I just wanted to know some stuff so I could maybe help you. But she didn't know that. She never heard me say that because I didn't even have an opportunity to, because she just jumped down our throats so like crazy at that time. I was in that chat when she spoke about Connie's daughter, and there was no disclaimer that she gave at the end of the live, because I was in that chat and I was calling her out on her bullshit, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? So I'll say it because I was there at that time. I'm sorry if I'm missing you guys in the chat here. Please forgive me. I'm like, fixing my face here while I'm talking to you guys. I mean, oh, Dawn, that's really sweet. See, Dawn says here, she says she's super resourceful. If anybody needs help finding things, etc. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is what this community, this is what my community is based on. We will help each other. We're not going to put each other down. We're not going to pick apart something, because I might not like every single thing about you. I mean, or I might do something a different way, but that doesn't mean that I can't help you or like you as a person. You know what I mean? Oh, Court. I know. Yes, Prudently. Absolutely. Have you seen that new movie, by the way? What is it? The Exorcist, The Priest's Exorcist, the newest one. I think it's on Netflix. It's really good. Like the preview of it, the preview of it doesn't even do it any justice. It's actually a really, really good movie. Like, really good. We watched it when it first came out. I mean, it's crazy, I mean, I do think that that people can become possessed, And I also believe that people can be, guided, through higher powers, whether it's angels, whether it's God, whether it's whatever you pray to or believe in as your higher power. You know what I mean? And you know what? Just right here. Oh my God, Dawn, she was going at it last night. She's going at it. And I'm like, oh my God. She was on her community page constantly, every couple minutes, posting something. I think that absolutely everybody needs a good therapist in their life. And I am a firm believer in that too. I am a firm believer in taking care of your own mental health. YouTube can be fun for people, and it can be an outlet for people and all of this other stuff. And it could be a resource for things, but there's other things also too. Hold on one second, guys. All right, sorry. There's a bus going by the house, and I think the dog thought it was the kids. It's not their bus. It's the high school bus. He gets excited when they get off the bus. I need to see. Oh yeah, Nefarious. What's that on? What network is that on? Sorry guys, I'm like a little ADD right now. Oh yeah, but see, okay, Bama, that's what I was gonna say. By you saying that in my chat right there, that's an honest statement. Like, that's how you feel, right? We're talking about this is all disclaimer. These are all what we think. They're not like factual. Well, they are factual things, but you know what I mean. Like by you saying that, just by you saying that, she's going to say, you're a cancer bully. And like I said in my last video, I judge you based on my interaction with you. I am not judging you based on what you're going through medically. You know, I'm also judging you based on what I see your behavior on your community, page lately. And it's just sad, and it's like, if you need help, ask for help. There are people that do care, stop being so angry, because that's not going to help either. Hi, Nipatrish. How are you? She says, hey, all, I know I've been in her chats and have tried to be supportive. My boundaries have always been that I will talk about topics, but not people. I want to make it clear that I don't endorse that. No, I mean, I'm not, you don't endorse the behavior. Yeah. I mean, no, listen, the behavior last night, though, and the way that she's so nasty towards people, there are resources, there are resources, and there are people that can help her get to those resources. Well, through your government, you can get just basic assistance, like in terms of like your medical needs, your insurance, and also I'm sure that there is food assistance available. And if it's not going to be available through the government, which I don't see why it wouldn't be, if you're not working and you're only getting so much for disability, obviously that money has to go towards rent. But you know what? Start putting yourself on a list to get into lower subsidized housing. There are so many. If she goes to the Dana-Farber website, whether that's the hospital she's using or not, I have no idea. They have so many advocates links online as to what they will do. They will even work with you to get you reimbursement for your fuel for when you're going back and forth for treatments. They will help you with food. They will help you with navigating even your own financial, like your bills and everything. So to put you on some type of like a budget plan, if you need help with managing your finances. I mean, all different resources like that, everything under the sun. And like I said, there's local churches, if you don't even have to be a member of the church. A lot of times they do these Friday or whatever day of the week it might be, but you have to go on your local community websites, go on your town website, go on. There's an app that's called Neighbor. And Neighbor lists has a lot of resources or people talking about different things going on within the community. There are so many different places that you can look to for help, there's just so much out there, and not every place is going to help you, but you have to empower yourself in order to do that, You know what? There's an app, Court, that's there's a couple of them that are like MD apps or like doctor apps, and you can even try to go on there. And a lot of times it might not be a doctor in your state, but if you're okay with doing like virtual, like telehealth, a lot of times you can find a therapist, a little quicker that way. You know what I mean? Because sometimes to get into somebody locally, it takes quite a while, Oh, Victor, that's great that you would do that. Absolutely. That's awesome. Victor used to he raised donations and cycling for the American Cancer Society. That's awesome. Well, and you know what? I'm going to say something else too. Oh, Dawn, it's been SG. SG was popping off. I'll say something else. Cancer made its round one time and now another, allegedly. Also empower yourself to not do the things that cause cancer. And I'm sorry, smoking causes cancer. Empower yourself to start to quit. It might help, might save your life. I don't know. Call me crazy. I don't know. No, we got crazy Court to call crazy. But I mean, seriously, like empower yourself to fucking stop smoking. That's going to save you a lot of money. And it's also going to save you on your health. And not for nothing. Trust me. I when I was in college, I enjoyed a good cigarette when I was out at the bar. Hold on one second, guys. I got to let the dog out. Hold on. He's yelling at me. Okay, sorry. The dogs need to go out. Yeah, go like if you find a vape, you know what I mean? Actually, it's funny because a lot of times vaping sometimes even makes you feel worse, depending on what you get. But I do a no nicotine water vape every once in a while. It's just water, like flavored water. I mean, that's it. No nothing in it, because it's what's healthier and it's what I enjoy, and then that's okay. I mean, empower yourself to quit. You know, it's not easy. I've been there before. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Ah, yeah, I know it's work, right? I know. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm being nasty or mean because I'm not trying to be. But it's disgusting to see all of that shit written. And then what do you want? You want everybody to come over and help you? Or be supportive of you. I mean, how could somebody be supportive of that? What if they suggested something to her? Like, she's not going to take suggestions. She's so closed off from listening to what anybody has to say or do or whatever. I mean, she go prudently, I'm sorry. She donated money to her at the time that her car was broken down. I didn't have money, but actually at that time I offered her my AAA if she needed the car towed someplace because she could at least use that. It was a resource that I offered to her at that time. I mean, I might not have money all the time, but I'm certainly able to try to be resourceful to help people if need be, you know, like I would do that for anybody if I could, I just, but if anybody makes a suggestion and she goes against them and she gets mad at them and yada yada yada, and it's like, you know what, it's rinse wash repeat, same shit every day. I'm just reading the chat here, guys. Oh, see, here you go. See, just by us talking today, that's amazing. See, this is what this is for, guys. This is what this is for. It's not a place to criticize people just talking about like simple resources that they might be needing. And there you go. Now you guys have connected and maybe you can get put into the right direction. That's awesome, Pro and Court. That's great. That's great. Um, just me. Um, a lot of times the therapists, because of the pandemic, I know a lot of times they like to see people in the office, and I know sometimes it's better for certain people, but if there's any way, if it's a good therapist and it's somebody that's connected, with them, they might be able to do telehealth. You know what I mean? Because once you find somebody good, you don't want to leave. Like, you don't want that person to leave you or you to leave that person. You know what I'm saying? So again, ask the questions. You know what I mean? Just to see, if it's something that's a possibility. Yes, twerk, 100%, 100% right here. Hold on. Yes. If she doesn't like what you're saying, she thinks people are bashing her when in reality people are trying to help her. Yeah. I mean, listen, I might be coming off harsh here because you know what I am, because I'm sick and tired of it. It's like you like to fucking bitch and moan and whine. That's what you like to do. Oh my God, stop it. Oh. Well, she can community post all she wants. She wants help with resources and she wants to be pointed in the right direction. Then, that can also happen too. Oy. Well, you know what? That's all I can say. And we're here for each other, guys, and I'm appreciative of that. I'm so appreciative of all you guys, and I'm so lucky that you all are here. And um, I appreciate all of your support, and I appreciate you guys being able to support each other. Um, because that's what we're here for. At least in my channel, that's what we're here for. No, Don, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're good, honey. Oh, just me. That's good. That's good. Well, that's great. Every little improvement is a blessing, and you just have to look at it as every day, as long as you're trying to put one foot in front of the other. That's really what matters at the end of the day. Oh, Elliot, hi, how are you? I see where you go. Oh, yeah, Elliot, I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. Bama, please make that make sense. Please make that make sense. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. Some stuff makes me laugh. You're having panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Okay. Yeah, you just got, you know what, Elliot? A lot of times you have to just if you can get yourself into a quiet room, you know what I mean? And you just, concentrate on your breathing, you know what I mean? And just kind of really be at one with yourself. You know what I mean? Just breathing deeply a lot of times can help you. I know I've been there before myself, so I totally understand. It's not always easy. I mean, one of my sons, he can be a little anxious. He has ADHD, and sometimes the ADHD comes out in more anxious behavior. And so even at nighttime, what I have found is we put on his, in his room on his phone, we'll put it on sound. We call it sounds of the season. So it might be ocean waves, just the sound of ocean waves crashing, or it might be a snowstorm or a rainstorm, anything that can be very calming, in the background. A lot of times, if you just listen to that and kind of just close your eyes and you meditate and concentrate on your breathing, even just simple things like that can really help, just kind of reduce that level of anxiety for the moment, and it just kind of letting your minds not concentrate on what's making you anxious. You know what I mean? That's funny. That's actually really funny. Yeah, Elliot, honestly, I mean, like I said, I know what it's like, just kind of getting yourself in the right mindset and not paying attention to all the rhetoric on YouTube all the time. That helps us tremendously too. You know what I mean? So, do we have any resources for someone currently stuck in what? Burglar bars? I don't know what that in the burglar bars. I don't know what that is. What's the burglar bars? No, I don't have any resources. I don't even know what that is. Oh wow, just me. Yeah, that can be challenging, you know. Yeah, Elliot, that's a good idea. That is definitely a good idea. 100%. I wish you well, and we're here. This is a non-judgmental zone. I'd like to think so. I'm judgmental, but not of I just like to call it as I see it, right? I think everybody does for the most part. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off here. I have to get the kids in just a little bit. We're going to go get some pumpkins. But I appreciate you guys being here. I so appreciate it. Please make sure you hit the like. If I get a chance, I will go back in and try to post some, resources. I think that there's nationwide resources, but there's also ones that are particular to each and everybody's state. So I can start to do that. If you guys have any specific questions, I mean, I'm more than happy to help anybody. My email is in my about section, so you guys can certainly send me a private email. And we can talk privately about it if you don't want to talk about it on here. I am not a doctor. I am not a social worker, but I am a mom, and I have been a big advocate for myself and also for my family's health for a very long time. And so it comes with a lot of practice, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of love, and that's all I can do. It's all I can do. But I appreciate you guys being here. Carrie Ann, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in last minute. Sorry. I know I'm going to sign off here because I got to get the kiddos. But I love you guys very much. Love you long time. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out, guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.